It's cold and windy. I don't know if it's that cold. It's like in the 50s, but boy, it's windy. Carolyn's greenhouse is almost 80 degrees in there. The curtain's gonna fall back. Wind stops as soon as I start talking. So she's really trying to fill it up, and she's got all kinds of stuff in there now. She's getting pretty excited about her garden. That's all she's doing now, is pretty much working on her garden stuff. Almost full time, it seems like. Every time I look over, she's digging in some dirt over there in her spot of the little house. So the weather's kind of in and out. I think we're going to get up in the 70s and it's going to drop back down. So it's just those early spring temperatures. At least we're getting out of the rain for a couple days. I can get the well cleaned up and try to fill the tank. Yesterday I was telling you, I think it was yesterday, I was telling you that the well got dirty from all the dirty water. So we went into conservation mode in the house and we started using dirty water to flush our toilet and that kind of stuff. So it's been, I think, 5 days now without water in from the well. And our 275 gallon tank is only half empty. So that tells me that it's about right, about 2 weeks, 10 days to 2 weeks, we could go without fresh, clean water. Of course, things got really bad, which they never would. We could, you know, skip a shower or two, something like that if we had to. But like I said, we got the natural spring down the hill we could use. I wanted to come down here and see if there's any chicken eggs while I got you on here. I don't usually pick them up this early, but kind of part of the subject. I would imagine there's probably a hen in here. Yep, we got a hen in there. But we got a few eggs. She doesn't want to move. There's another one. So we got 3 eggs sitting on this side. I would imagine our broody chicken has a few eggs under it. And they've been kind of putting them everywhere since the hen went broody. This is Americana. I know it's hard to see in the screen, but that's actually blue. It looks white in the screen in the camera. So 3 eggs. Yesterday we got 10 eggs. I think the day before that we got 6 eggs. So 6 to 10 eggs a day is not bad. And we're eating them every day. I have 4 eggs for lunch. Maybe just over 300 calories, 350 calories for lunch. And it keeps me full until supper time. But I told you all that a while back. But this is critical. And, oh, I dropped one and it didn't break. Woohoo! See, I got so busy talking on the camera, but it didn't break. Boy, I would have been frustrated about that. So a few days ago, I was talking about calories and all the different foods that we've been eating, stockpiling. And was looking at how many empty jars we got. We've been thinking about canning again because we got, I don't know, probably 6 trays of jars, pint jars, that we need to get filled up with meat. So this spring, when it warms up and it's not so cold outside, I'm gonna set these down. We'll start canning and get those filled up. And then, of course, she's wanting to can tomatoes. That's the big one she wants to can. But we will water bath them. We don't have to pressure can those. So doing a water bath, you don't have to have real canning jars. You can use mayonnaise jars. So we got a bunch of those. We got those from a yard sale. So we'll can up tomatoes. And Carolyn makes a spaghetti. Now, when I say spaghetti, we don't use noodles anymore. So she's been doing these meat patties. And she makes it like spaghetti. It's a patty, but she uses all the spaghetti sauce. She makes her own spaghetti sauce. That was one of the things I was really going to regret not eating was her spaghetti, because she makes good spaghetti. But she figured out how to do it. I mean, it's just basically the same thing without noodles. And those are really good. And the thing is, what's interesting is she likes it so much, we're getting to eat it more often than when she made the spaghetti noodles. She may make spaghetti noodles for once a month back then. But now we're getting spaghetti like 2 or 3 times a week. So going on this meat diet has gotten me more spaghetti. It's really good. So President Biden said something that I don't think I've heard in my lifetime. I'm sure I haven't. Not in this country. And it should have us all concerned. He said that there's going to be worldwide food shortages, including here in the United States. The thing is I think a lot of people in the United States have gotten so accustomed to having it easy that if things got hard, they wouldn't know what to do. During the Great Depression, things got pretty tough, and a lot of people suffered. I mean, if you think about it, what do they call it? Hooverville in New York? I think they called it Hooverville. They blamed Herbert Hoover for the Depression. And so it was a tent city, is basically in New York. And so what we had to think about is, okay, back then, when things weren't quite as easy as they are now, I mean, think about it. Most people probably heated with wood heat to keep warm. And there were still tent cities. Back then, that we didn't have all the safety requirements that we have to have now. You could build a little shack. There was no code. What's code? Who cares about code? Build a little shack and you could go live in it. Little log house, go live in it. You can just throw something together. But nowadays, that's not even legal. You can't build anything. I mean, we did here, but the thing about here is we had to keep the house under 200 square feet just so we could build it without having code restrictions. We had to build it on a trailer frame so we didn't have to have code restrictions. Today's society, they don't even allow you to downgrade your life. You have to have a certain level of living standard. Well, what are we going to do if things go bad? So the president has guaranteed us now that we are going to, for the first time in our lives, have a worldwide food shortage. Now, what they say about food shortages, I think that society will basically collapse if there's no food for 3 days. There would be no social norms anymore. I mean, I don't even think people can imagine what that means. It's hard to imagine. I'm sure there's people out there who can imagine it, but I think for the most part, people think, well, I'll just go to the store. Oh, prices are high, and we complain about prices being high. But there you're talking about no food on the shelves. I mean, yeah, 2 years ago, look how big of a situation we were in because there was no toilet paper. People were struggling to get along in life without toilet paper, and now we're talking about food. Now, a lot of people will say, and I've actually heard people say this, when it happens, I'll be ready. When it happens, I can start to grow a garden, I can go cut firewood that day, I can go get a wood stove, and I'll be all right. I got the skills to do it. Well, according to our president, it's here, it's now. We are now in a situation where if you are not doing this now, if you don't have that wood stove, if you don't have a year's worth of food canned, then you need to start now. Not start, you need to actually dive in. Dad was telling me the other day that he went and bought PVC pipe, 4-inch Schedule 40 PVC pipe, this stuff here. Now, when I bought it, I think it was like $25 a tube. They're 10 feet long. He went the other day and it's $50. Now, when I built this, I got 10 tubes. I've got some left over. That would have been $500. I spent $500 building this whole thing, getting the whole thing completely done. So things are getting expensive fast. I mean, it's happening now, right now. Well, he was telling me that he put a piece of pipe out there to protect his well or something. I didn't understand exactly what he was doing, but people were trying to get it. He stopped them, but people were trying to steal it. Pipe. That's how crazy things are getting already. And we're not actually experiencing the hardships just yet. Now, I have said repeatedly that this is not a fear-mongering channel, and every time I go to the store, I don't see the problem. Not yet. I'm sure it might happen. I mean, I'm not denying that. Apparently, fertilizer is the issue. That there's not enough fertilizer. Fertilizer costs are going to go through the roof, and at some point, food costs is going to get so high that nobody's going to buy it anymore. This is, I mean, supply and demand. As prices go up, people will just stop paying the price. It's not worth it. You know, $10 for an ear of corn, yeah, I think I'll skip it. I'll eat grass or worms or, you know, whatever. So if it's happening right now, then you need to have everything in place now. Not, well, I'll wait until it gets bad. When it gets bad, everybody's going to be wanting to do the same thing. Everything's going to be in chaos. So you have to plant your garden this year, like Carolyn's doing, just working up a storm, and she's having fun with it. I'm not a gardening person. I'd rather eat meat. But you saw me picking up the eggs. We got a hen, it's broody. She's going to have more chickens. Pretty soon she's going to have me come out here and till up this garden. We already have everything we need to get us to harvest time. We have plenty of canned food. We have a year's worth of canned food. We have plenty of noodles and rice if we needed to dig into that stuff. We got years of that stuff available. I think now is the time that you need to start thinking about your skill sets. If you don't have what you need already stockpiled, and stockpiling isn't going to get us through this. That's the thing. You have to be able to reproduce it year after year after year. I mean, how many years did the Depression last? So it's not like you're going to be able to stockpile that much food. People in the Depression had to figure out how to do things. They used newspapers to insulate their houses so the breeze wouldn't come through. That's ingenuity. That's the kind of ingenuity you got to come up with. So if you don't have chickens now, you should go out and get chickens now. Orscheln's and Tractor Supply and all that, they're selling them probably right now. If not now, probably within the next week or two, they're going to start selling chickens. You should go get some. If you live in the city, I know a lot of people say, oh, I can't have chickens in the city. Well, you can have ducks probably. I've said this, I've made a lot of videos where I told you to go get ducks. If you don't like duck eggs, you can trade them, you can sell them. We're going to have to start thinking about things now. Do you have the ability to get water? Where are you going to get water from? Can you get water? Our president said it's here, and I have no reason to doubt it. We've been trending this way for a couple of years. So if you can click on this up next box, it'll take you over to my other channel. We'll get some humor going. Hope I can inspire you to realize it's here, so you can live your dream. Thanks for watching.